Hey guys, Etrion here from Langrisser C. I'm from the Guild Legion of Scorn, and today I'm going to be talking about the Langrisser 3.0 update, which was just announced on Douyu by the Langrisser China team. As someone who doesn't speak very good Mandarin before I started playing Langrisser, I can certainly empathize with those who want to know what's happening over in the Chinese version, because it will be coming to global NC as well. So I took it upon myself to translate the main gist of the video. I've got the raw screen grab up on my YouTube channel in case you want to watch that. And if there are any Mandarin speakers that are better than I am, please do counter check my translations. I'll be more than happy to make corrections to this video as necessary. But without further ado, let's move on. So there will obviously be a new main story, which you can see the last part of the trailer in that screen grab that I have, and there will also be a new time rift, which will feature the events of Langrisser 5 and how Lambda and Sigma feature into the story. Moving on, there will be a new swimsuit event that will come, and this will add new swimsuit skins for Liffany, which is over here, Rachel, and Night of Mystery, and the Liffany skin will be the free skin from the event. The others are most likely limited skins that you have to purchase from the store, and these three skins will join the existing swimsuit skins on the right. Excitingly, for those of us who are more or less at endgame, there will be new ways to make our heroes stronger, the first of which is a training field expansion, where there will be 10 new troops and 10 new techs that we added to the game. They took special mention to say that these will be the last new techs that will be introduced, and after this there will only be new troops that will be added to the game, which means that those of us who have been grinding Anarchies forever can finally, hopefully, graduate one day from farming Anarchies. So moving along, there were 2 new troops announced and the other 8 are being kept a secret for now. The first new troop is called the Cyborg Knight, or the Cyborg Rider, and as follows. The picture is there, so again, please counter check my translations if you can, but basically it says that when it's attacking, the attack is increased by 30%, when defending, the defense is increased by 15%, and when its health is more than 80%, it gains up to 2 squares of 0 cost movement when passing over defense increasing tiles. This is basically Illustrio's talent, except that it only adds 2 squares instead of the, I think, 4 squares that her talent adds. But in any case, it's still quite cool to have this on the troop. They did not mention the specifics of whether this will increase the total units movement, but I believe it should, and of course the heroes that can use this troop have yet to be announced. The second new troop unveiled was the Purifier. The Chinese translation literally translates to forgiver of sins or cleaner of sins, so I thought Purifier sounds a bit better. So damage taken while attack is reduced by 20%, and when it does not have a debuff on it and it is hit with an attack that would otherwise kill it, the troop itself will revive with 20% health, and once this revive mechanic is triggered, the maximum life of the troop is reduced by 20%. This revive mechanic can only be triggered once per battle. It remains to be seen how the revive will factor into damage calculations. For example, will you have to hit the troop and then hit the troop again when it's revived before it can hit the hero, or whether it just revives after combat. So this was not quite covered, because if you have to hit the troop twice, that basically goes almost any chance of a one shot for whoever is equipping this. Again, who can equip this remains to be seen. So the new exciting thing is basically SP forms of existing heroes, and how the developers explain this is that these are alternate versions of heroes from Langrisser's memory. So for example, you can think of Elwin as a canon version that we have now as the one that followed the glory path in the original Langrisser 2 game, and they are hinting along the lines of something like this is his overlord path form. The first 2 SP forms will be for Freya as well as for Elwyn. And how does this work? Basically, when you want to unlock your SP form, you need to have full bonds with the hero. I assume this means that you must have everything fully increased for your 5 first bonds, and the heart bond should be maxed out. There's also a special material needed that I roughly translated the heart of the mirror image. Thanks to my guildmate for that nice phrasing. Still not quite sure how this material is acquired, and this material seems to be hero specific, because in the picture in the video itself there's a picture of Elwin in the shard. Again, no one knows how to acquire this. However, the developers did mention something about completing specific tasks before you can unlock his SP form. So I'm hopeful that this is not something that you have to pay for, but rather a new feature that's added in that you can unlock just by doing in-game activities. They did mention that once unlocked, you can switch freely between the hero's original form and the SP form. There will be stat differences, and what this screen is showing is Elwin's stats are on the left before he changes into his SP form, and the SP form is on the right. This is to show that the SP form is not a straight upgrade, rather it is one that comes with benefits and drawbacks with regards to stat changes, similar to how there are stat basically there's pros and cons to changing classes for most heroes now. Interestingly, they did mention that the stat disadvantage that SR heroes and R heroes get at the baseline will be nullified by the SP form, meaning that once SR or R heroes are in the SP form, they will get the stats similar to that of an SSR hero. This is quite exciting, which means that the game is no longer just about SR, SSR heroes. Even R heroes have a chance to shine, assuming they get an SP form. So SP Elwin is, it seems quite broken to me, but I'm just going to go through what was announced and what was shown on the slides during the presentation. So SP Elwin, as you can see from the picture, has a new cavalry class and a new talent that is specific to the SP form. When attacking, damage cost and defense increase by 25%, and when there are no allies within 2 spaces, he will revive after suffering fatal damage. This can occur once per battle. For every square moved before entering battle, Elwin will receive a pre-battle heal of 20% per square moved. So you read that right. If he moves 5 squares, he will heal 100%, which is nuts. So if he moves 4 squares or more, he also gets to attack before the enemy. Something like Sakura, she can attack first if her skill is higher, and Elwin's mechanic is something similar to that, except that it is well within your control, because all you need to do is move for 4 squares or more. This ties in with his new skills, which I will go through in the next few slides. And excitingly, he also gets a new troop in the form of unicorns, as you can see at the bottom. The first new skill is an active skill, and I have roughly translated it into Brilliant Charge. It's an active skill that when used, gain legendary brilliance. Errant Knight, his exclusive item, has a 100% trigger rate and it lasts for 1 turn. Basically, you can Sword Soul and then Sword Soul again, or Peacemaker and or Frontal Assault and Frontal Assault again, and you are guaranteed to get the skill back. You gain immunity to all debuffs for 2 turns, similar to Chivalry, and after using this skill, he can move 3 squares. He can move again, and he can move 3 squares if he has mixed troops, or he can move 4 squares if he has the same troop. For example, if Cavalry Elwin equips unicorns, he can move 4 squares after using this skill, which would obviously tie into his talent, which allows him to attack first. When using this skill, for example, like similar to how you pause and then you can move again, duration of buffs are not decreased or consumed. So unlike Chivalry, which does consume buff charges, this will not consume any buff charges when he uses this skill. As you can see, it is a pretty good skill. So that's Brilliant Charge. The next is a skill, it's a passive skill that I've translated into Solitary Fortitude. Whenever an ally is defeated, which is once one of your friendly units die, you heal 20% and you gain Solitary Fortitude. When you are attacked, you heal 30% before battle, and when you are attacking, you heal 30% of damage dealt after battle. The last part is similar to his usual form's talent, and this effect lasts for 1 turn. Moving along, there will be this new feature called the Wall of Collectibles, or the Wall of Action Figures, and you will be able to collect digital collectibles of heroes, monsters, and NPCs that you can display in this virtual cabinet of sorts and show off to your friends. It is currently unclear as to how you will acquire these in-game items, whether it is due to you owning the heroes or there's some other criteria that needs to be met. There will be changes coming to the guild battle system or the guild war system, and there will be enhancements made. I have circled the relevant changes where there will be a level 70 version that will be introduced, which will be the new highest difficulty of guild war, and there will also be a sweep function for guild war itself. How the sweep function works is that it goes by the combined total level of heroes that you build. I say again, it goes by the combined total levels. So the max level is level 70. You can see that this player has brought 4 heroes, and therefore he has a combined hero level of 280. If you have 280 out of 420 points, you only get 600 out of 1200, but that also means that if you bring 420 points worth of heroes in terms of levels, which is basically equates to 6 level 70 heroes, you will be able to sweep this and basically get the rewards instantaneously. This is quite cool, and the fact that they increased the heroes being brought by each person to 4 basically is trying to enable older players or veteran players to help newer players catch up and to carry newer players through Guild War. So I feel this is quite cool. This is going to reduce the onerous task of doing Guild War quite significantly, because all you have to do is just bring 6 level 70 heroes and click sweep, and you've basically finished that map. They did mention that you have to finish your Guild War at least once manually, so I'm not quite sure how the unlock function of this works. They did not really explain how to unlock this function, but the fact that it's available itself is already pretty exciting to me. There will also be a new PvE mode where it is sort of guild versus guild. What happens is that each guild can send up to 4 teams which will take part in the new PvE mode on this specific map, and the guilds in your server will be ranked based on results from this mode. I should correct myself, I'm not sure whether it's server or whether it is game-wide. They did not mention. They also did not mention how this new mode will work. They did mention, however, that it is PvE, it is not PvP, but the specifics have not been announced. The target delivery for this new mode is in September or October for the Chinese version. Lastly, there are some miscellaneous questions and answers at the end, and I've just selected a few to translate. Those that were a bit more interesting. So, of note, our heroes, as mentioned just now, can also be selected to receive an SP form, after which they will have stats similar to SSRs. Heroes selected for SP forms will be based on players' votes as well as the developers' plan for the game, so players can actually influence which heroes are selected to get SP form. Unfortunately, I don't think this voting function will come to global or C, but you know, one can only dream. They did mention that the Guild Wars enhancements are part of a whole package of changes which are meant to help newer players catch up. They're looking into releasing, I can't really make out whether it's paid packs or whether it's bundles of items and materials to help newer players catch up, so that one remains to be seen how they will implement that. And there will also be a faster speed released for auto battle, which will be even faster than 2 times. They did not mention whether it's 3x or 4x or 5x, but yeah, all good changes. So with all that said, I'm pretty happy with the changes announced in the version 3 update. Looks like we're gonna be busy for a very long time to come. And now that there's a new competitive guild versus guild mode, I'm really happy to see how my guild can take part in this and basically bring us together as a guild. But in any case, I hope you guys found this video helpful, useful, and entertaining. As always, this is Zethrion, signing off.